Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy the story, The Legend of the Silver Bullet.
Welcome to the Victorian, where your fears, your worries, and even your loneliness are devoured by the flame. Today I have a story about a legend that will not go away. Or is it a legend at all? I will leave that up for you to decide. First of all, we must go back into time. The year is 1880, still 10 years before the first steam car would pass by the Victorian. But on this year, December 15th, a child was born, a baby girl, beloved by the whole family. Later that year, the end of April, a large black barn cat had a litter of one. The workers were surprised at the little kitten. It did not look like the rest. Its ears were too short, its eyes were close together, its legs were small, short, not as long as a regular cat. It was tailless, but even as a kitten, you could see the muscles ripple underneath its fur. It became the best hunter on the farm. It never stopped hunting rats, because with chicken farms you got rats. But more importantly, it befriended a little girl, loved her more than anything else. Twice it defended her from larger wild animals that had come too close to her. It loved her, well, more than life itself. No matter how long it hunted during the day, it always returned to her bed, sighed late in the evening to put her to sleep, staying there till morning, where it refused to leave until it received a kiss on the nose. A single kiss seemed to release it, so it could go do its chores and its duties. It hunted 10 of the 13 farms reportedly on this hill, on this crossroad between two major towns. It was different, but it was incredible. It was revered by all the owners of the farms. Sometimes it would leave livers out. They would all leave livers out for it to feed on. It seems that's the only thing it would eat. The little girl would play with it endlessly. As she grew up, she acquired more and more friends, and at the age of 11, she would spend more time with her friends, like most girls at that age, than the silver bullet. The silver bullet was different. It always seemed like it walked with a purpose. It did not go from here to there. It always walked in a straight line to fulfill its next mission. It was always on a task. It was always determined to do something that was in its mind. On the longest day of the year, the lady of the house looked out the window. The silver bullet sat on a fence pole, riveted at the window, watching the lady do her dishes through the window, and it did not move. 3 o'clock came, and she knew something was wrong. The little girl was playing with her friends at the kitchen table, and then she did it. The old lady asked, "Please go outside and kiss the silver bullet. Take a moment." So the young girl went outside, started to approach the silver bullet. She knew, and tears started to come down through her eyes onto her cheeks. She went over to the silver bullet, kissed it on its nose. In an instant, the silver bullet headed up north to the winter hunting grounds where the large cats would go, very close to the longest day of the year, the first day of summer. I guess you could think this is a sad story at this point, but it is not. 7 years later, the young girl, now married, sat in the backyard underneath an apple tree with her child, only a year old. And to her amazement, she saw walking up the path, well, it was the first day of summer. It was a silver bullet. Silver bullet saw her, hesitated at first, saw the baby, and then ran over, jumped on her lap, and then kissed the baby on the nose. The young lady began to cry. But at that point, it was not for what happened. It was not for the kiss that her child received. It is what poked its head through the small grass behind the silver bullet, the tall grass. Two silver heads, small ears, eyes too close together, and as they approached, she could see that they were tailless. She kissed the silver bullet again, and she headed with her offspring up the hill. At this point, you'd think the story was over, but I wanted to find out for myself if it was true. And old men kept telling me the stories and asking me on the longest day of the year, have you seen those silver bullets? So I set out a trail cam. And 2 days after the longest day of the year, on June 23rd, I captured this image. It was the silver bullet. Its eyes were as bright as the moon. Its fur was silver, not white or gray. Its legs were smaller than they should be. Its ears were tiny, with no tail. But one thing more than ever that distinguished itself from other cats. Its muscles rippled under its skin, and looked like it was going on a mission, like it had a point to arrive at, and it was determined to get there. So at this point, I don't know whether to call it a legend or just the silver bullets. I guess if you think this is a house cat, the story is over. But if you think it's something different, something special, something unique, then the story goes on. Until next time, I am inspired to the Victorian to write another story. Goodbye.